Hello everyone, welcome to Chirag PostgreSQL 18 tutorial. In this video, we are going to learn how to do the table partitioning on PostgreSQL 18. Step by step process will go through that and we'll divide tables into multiple tables. So this tutorial is for the PostgreSQL 18. And the first question is that in our mind, then what is the table partitioning in PostgreSQL? So table partitioning in the PostgreSQL means that divided a large table into the similar or more manageable pieces called the partitions. So just like a big table is there, we divided the part 1, part 2 and part 3 like that. And while still allowing you to query edge if they were a single table. So all the tables we can query at a time as a single table. It's like breaking the huge book into the table into the small chapters partition for the better organization and faster access. Okay, so there is a book and we are dividing into multiple chapter by chapter and we are just able to find this one, the chapters by. How it works? So in PostgreSQL, partitioning uses the parent table and several child table. So in parent table is defined normally, but it does not hold the data. Okay, this does not hold the data, and all the child table. Each child table store a subset of the data of defined in the partition key. For example, a date range or a ID range. So while you run the query on the parent table, the PostgreSQL automatically routes them to right partition tables. Why use partitioning? So partitioning improves performance. Okay, so it will go to the particular table, subtable, and it will just query that. And maintenance and index size will be each partition can be smaller than efficient indexes. So PostgreSQL can scan multiple partition in the parallel. Okay. So types of the partitioning. So there is just several types of the partitioning. So we can partition by the range partitioning. Then we can go through the list partitioning. Then we can hash partitioning and composite partitioning. So these are the partitioning we can use. We can go through the step by step process and we'll go through the examples also. So benefits of partitioning, table partitioning is that faster query on the partition key, easier data cleanup, drop old partitions, better index and vacuum process, can use parallel query execution. Okay, so one limitations is there. Some of the limitations is that for the partitioning. So this one only one partition key per table and global index across all partitions are not yet supported as per PostgreSQL 17, and too many partitions can slow the performance. Use partition and wisely. So real world usage where we use the partitioning, table partitioning. So time series data that use just like logs, IoT data, matrices, partition by date, and geographical data, customer by the region or country. Archival system, all data can be easily dropped or stored everywhere. So we'll go through the step by step process. So prerequisites there, we need a server Ubuntu 24.04 LTS server. PostgreSQL should be installed and basic PostgreSQL knowledge. If PostgreSQL is not installed, then we'll go through the installation process. So this is my VMware. I'm going through this one and just start this one. So my Ubuntu 24.04 LTS server is running with the VMware. You can able to see there VMware workstation. I'm just running. This is server one and let it start. So I'm just starting my server. So there's Ubuntu 24.04.3 LTS server one is there. So I'm going to access this server and I know the username and password SSH DPT at the rate 192.168.136.128. So this is my server. So first, whenever you are going through the server, first I will update and upgrade my server packages. So apt update, sudo apt upgrade minus y. So I'm just going to update and upgrade my system packages. So we have done this one. Now I'm going to install the Postgres command and pgdg Postgres global group. So for the I'm using the command for the Postgres 18. It will give you the update the source list for the Postgres 18. So default apt the repository is not there in the Postgres Ubuntu 24.04 LTS for Postgres 18. So we are going to add this one. So using this command, we will add progress is 80%. So completed this one. Now I'm going to add this. So Postgres command we are going installing, and after that this will run the sh file. You need to enter, click on the enter to continue. So we have done this one. Now I am going to update and install the Postgres SQL 18 with the contribution library. So you can able to see a Postgres 18 is installing there. So installation is near about completed. Now we'll enable the Postgres and start and status. We'll check the status. So sudo systemctl enable enable Postgres means that whenever the system will start, the server will reboot. Automatically Postgres server will start. So now check the status. So active. Okay. So Postgres is running correctly. Now I am going to log in with the Postgres users. Switching to Postgres users, sudo -i -u Postgres. So switch to the Postgres. Before we are in the root user, now we change to the Postgres user. After that, we'll go to the psql say prompt. So Postgres database we logged in. Now I'll create one database. There's the database name I'm giving the partition DB. Create user, partitions user with the password is admin@123. So done. Simple commands. These are the simple commands. You know how to create the user. Grant privilege to partition DB to the partition user. So just now whatever we database created, that database permission I'm giving to the created user. So this is the partition user. So we have created the user and we have given the privilege. Now connect with the DB. And then we are going to create a table that is a sales table and partition by range sales date. So we are giving the day sales date as a date and we are partitioning this one by date, sales date. So create table name and simple columns are there. And here we are adding the new things partition by range and this is the sales date. So sales date column is there. Now create the different months, create for the different month for the 3 months, 1, 2 and 3. on the 2024, I'm going to create. So all partitions are created. So create the index for the particular partitions. So create index on cells underscore 2024. So we are creating 20, 2024, 1, 2, and 3. We're creating the index. Okay. Index are created. Table are created. Index are created. Now insert some sample data. So we are inserting in the single query for the all the partition. Automatically it will go to the particular partition. Let's see. So you're running for the second one, two, one, two, three, like that. So where is the this sales date, and this is the date. Okay. So first month we are adding two, second month we are adding two, and third month we are adding three. So now check with the partition ID which table contains the how much data. So every table, see, partition table 1, 2, 3, all count is 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So all are containing 2, 2, 2. So create a partition function for the automatic partition creation if you are adding more than, just like I'm going for the 4 months. Okay. Just assume that we have up to 3 months, but if you are adding directly to the 4 months, it will give you the error. I'll show you. That's not a big. Just like I'm adding the 4 month, so I'm getting the error. So no partition in relation to cells for the found the row. So cells date is not there. So what I'll do, I'll just create a function. So from this, we are creating the simple function void, and here we are checking and each exists, then okay. Otherwise, we are creating the partition table. See, this is the main command. And after that, we are creating the index for the I and creating the partition name, and partition already exists. Then we're going back. So up to this, run this one. So create function is done. Now test the partition. So analyze. So analyze this one. So how much time is taking? Planning time is this much. Execution time is 0.0798 milliseconds. So this is running in the millisecond. So you can analyze the query, one of your queries, which one is taking time or not. So test the cross partitioning query. So this is in the partition one. This is in the partition two. So we can analyze this one also. So we can able to search. Okay. Now insert data to should we create a new partition, or you can check this one like this also. Directly you can run and you can get the data from the different partition. Okay. This is on the first partition, this is on the second partition. And now I'm going to add this one for the 4 months. Okay. So 4 months we are not created ever. Now insert it and now check with the partition query. It's created or not. So here you can able to see one row is inserted on the new partition table. This is a 4, or 4 is automatically created. Previously we tried to insert the data but not working. Now this is working because we created the function. This function I'm talking about, the this create self partition function. So this is working. So this is the big thing you have done. So we are automatically, when data will come to the another part, means we don't have available partition and come to it, automatically create the partition by date. Okay. So list the partition example. So create a list partition table by category. We are creating one for product by category. So like that also we can create. So by category we are creating same. We are going to insert Same thing we are doing, only the change is the here we are calling the category. This is the category, and by category we are doing insert sample data. These are the simple query. You, if you are DBA, so you can know that insert into the product by category. This is the name of the table, and we are inserting the data. Okay. So now verify the distribution. Just we have also changes the. So here the electric, we have a electronics, we have a two, clothing two, and books one. You can, here you can see these are electronics two are there, clothing is one, clothing is two, and books is one. Okay, so done. So we are getting the same data, and this is through the partitions only. So hash partitioning, so we have by category we have done. Now we can create the hash partitioning by id. We can create the head partitioning, like that. So done. Now again we are inserting the data, creating the table, partition table. So done, partition table is created. Now insert the sample data. So we can insert the sample data, user session, 5 rows and insert it. Now we can check with the user session, verify the data distribution, how the data distributed on particular partition table. So you can able to see the session data. Session data is partition for the particular partition. So we can do like that. And next for the step 9, we are going to monitor and maintenance. So check the partition. You can run this command. So it will give you the partitions detail, just like a sales, and for this one up to this. So you can partition by date is there. So 112024 to small size it won't come. So 20242. So this one coming with the first, this is coming for the second, like that we are giving the partition. So now check the partition sizes. You can go through the size also. So partition cells 202401, this is taking 24 kb, this is taking 24 kb. So size, you can get the size for the partition. So next is backup and restore considerations. So permission for the partition user. So grant partition user for the cells. So this is done. So now grant the for the particular partition table. So there you can, you know that the cells 2024 underscore 01 is the partition 01. Like that, all the partitions we are giving the permission. We have given. So these are the simple commands. So you can go through that. Also grant the schema. So all are running with the my public schema. If you have a different schema, then you can go through that and you can give the permission. Now give the execution all functions. If if functions are created by given granted to the execute functions, if you created any functions, if created any, and grant usage to select the permission for the sequence will increase 1 2 3 4 like that. So for that you are giving the sequence permission, and alternatively grant all the privilege to the sequence. So done. Now exit. So we have done up to this. So next, backup specific partition. So for particular partition, we can take a backup. So I'm running this one. Let me go. So backup is created. Sales January. There is a sales January. And can create sales January. You can see all the data and copy the data, all the details, you will get it there. So all the details we are getting. Means that backup is also working. We can take a backup with the pg dump, and you can schedule the backup. Backup entire partition we can take entire partition backup also. So admin at the rate 123 is the password, ll cat cells full. Cat cells full. So here you can see all the tables, partitioning, sequence, all the details you will get. So sales table is there. Now test the script. So you can run, you can create the script. So verify the work correctly. So this is the code, partition detail, test across, and test is completed. Let me run this one. So you can create a file, sh file, and you can give, you can insert the data, and you can trigger that one into the. So like this, you can create nano sh. No, not through. I'm going to create through the this one command only. So you can create with the command. So done. Okay, where we have created, let me check. Sudo -i -u Postgres. I'll create here. So nano, and I'll create the test partitioning. And here I'll just insert all the data. Okay. So analyze and all the things you can create like this. Okay. Testing partitioning. So test partitioning is there. So all the things you will get it. So like that we can create and analyze. Already I have shown you. So we can create like this. So now this is completed. So common issues on the solution partition is not created automatically. So ensure the trigger and property created the active, and permission issue grant necessary privilege to partition user. Performance issue create the appropriate indexes to the partition key columns. And best practices is that plan partition strategy based on the query patterns. Use meaningful partition name for the easy in identification. Create indexes on the each partition for the better performance, and monitor partition size and plan for the maintenance. Consider using the time-based partition for the time series data. Test partitioning strategy with the realistic data volume. So this is the comprehensive guide will help you the successful implementation of test SQL Server partitioning on the your Ubuntu 24.04 LTS server. So this disclaimer is there. So in this video we have learned how to configure the table partitioning on PostgreSQL 18. So step by step process I have shown you, and social media links are there, and you can connect with me WhatsApp group and Telegram channel. Follow the process on the video. Share this YouTube video with your friends and colleagues for and help them to get into this. For any doubts and query, please write on the YouTube video comment section. Subscribe to my channel for more certification tutorial learning content. Hope this will help. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow, like, share and comment. Thank you.